Hey everyone, welcome back. I got some footage from the Land Park Crit. This was a couple weeks ago up here in Northern California. This race is up in Sacramento. Probably recognize this course. We race on it a lot, usually twice a year. It's already made famous on YouTube by NorCal Cycling, but it's pretty not technical course. Kind of looks like a habanero. Most of it's like super easy all the way around, and then the stem looking part up at the top of the course is kind of tricky. You can kind of be wherever you want in the peloton for most of this race because it's usually pretty easy to move up because it's pretty wide all the way around. This year the race was pretty spicy. Team in pink in front of us, did a good job of keeping things strung out along with Cycle Sport and Volet Factory Racing. I think all of them like wanted to be in a break if it was going to go, so they just kind of slugged it out with each other at the front the whole time and neutralized each other a fair bit. I was helping in the beginning, doing work, trying to make sure that we didn't miss any moves that had those guys in it, but it was brutal at the front. This was like the highest power I had done in a crit for a long time, and this is towards the end. It started to chill out a little bit. This is the technical section I was mentioning. So it starts with this like kind of tight left-hander here that's like more than 90 degrees. I went around the outside that time. I really like that outside line. Most people were braking way too much for that. And then it comes into these two right-hand turns. You can pedal through all of that really if you pick a good line. I think honestly it was sometimes more important to just follow the line in front of you. But if you got the chance to like go on your own line and pick up a little bit of speed, it was definitely worth it because it was all about like how much speed you could carry out because then you had to do less of an effort coming out. There was kind of a point in the middle of this race where it felt like the field was going to break apart. I think on that last lap there was like a little bit of a gap towards the front, and I kept looking up and seeing those gaps and like waiting for it to split, but it never actually happened, thankfully. Um, I was kind of finding myself dangling at the back since I had spent a lot of energy early in the race, and you can see there was definitely a lot of other guys in the same position who were having trouble keeping the power down now and getting dangled. And I see this gap opening here, and you gotta jump on it quickly. Unfortunately, otherwise the gap is gonna go out. Um, you can see the guys are going a little bit across the road there. So it's not like crazy hard, but gonna make sure we get across it here. Um, the team Alto Velo, we had lots of folks out at this one. I think there was like 5 of us. It was a pretty good crew. There's Jack in the orange and blue. We were we had Michael as our sprinter for today. He ended up taking 5th in the field sprint, which is pretty solid result, especially after he got swept off the wheel pretty good by the Tyrone sweeper. Unfortunately, I don't have video of the end of the race because I had a really dumb mechanical, so I didn't get to finish it. But my seat post like slipped down on one of these bumps, and at first I was like, oh, I'll keep riding it, but then it turned out it slips down like all the way to the top tube, and that was a bit much for me. Couldn't really comfortably pedal, especially as I'm someone with pretty long legs and a lot of seat tube showing, so I didn't get to finish, but still got some footy for you guys in the middle of the race here. Yeah, back in the interesting section. You can see it kind of ebbs and flows. Like usually if you take the inside into that first corner, you maybe aren't going as fast out of the first corner, but then you can like come back at people around the outside on the next 2 corners. Whereas if you start on the outside, you get to carry a lot of speed, but then sometimes you ran out of space on the inside. I think I like the outside on that one better, but you could make either work. And then this last corner is pretty non-consequential most laps, but when you are coming through it like at 35 miles an hour on the last lap, it all of a sudden becomes like a very real corner. And there's like the gutter on the outside has like a little bit of a lip on it, so like you don't really want to go super wide into it. but the rest of the laps you could pedal through it. It's a pretty long ways from the last corner there to the finish up here. I think like 350 or 400 meters. So definitely not a race where you want to be like first out of the last corner, because you're just gonna be on the front way too soon and not be able to hold that. It's good to have a couple guys in front of you, at least one, maybe two, and then leave yourself a gap that you can make a run into there. And I think it was like slightly tailwind today, which usually tailwind means you can go a little bit earlier. But I think that's all the footy I got. Thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully we'll have some more exciting stuff from race finishes soon.